So this coffee is a coffee that was produced between a collaboration of a roastery out in California called Feast and one of my favorite bands called Gable Price and Friends. Gable Price and Friends I was actually introduced to by a dear friend of mine and highly, highly recommend. They are incredible. I was told by this friend of mine that said, they're basically your spirit band. And at that point, I really wanted to say, all right, watch them not be. But then I listened and I was like, man, she's right. So they have quickly become my favorite band and I love them so much. What is up, everybody? My name is Andrew Jacob Winley and I make content for the people who are looking to know more. Now, I think today, well, maybe you're looking to know a little bit more about me because again, it's been a while. I feel like all I'm doing are check-ins more than anything else at this point. Hopefully, that's going to be changed here. But before I get into that, here are a few of the things that I've done this year. 1, I was promoted inside of the coffee shop that I work at. 2, I traveled to Florida. 3, I went to England and I went to Scotland. 4, I met some amazing people when I was over in Scotland and England. 5, I was the featured artist at a local coffee shop called The Spark Coffee. I got to see some of my favorite bands in concert. I did decide to switch from Spotify to Apple Music, which was a very strange decision. Last Christmas, I got a HomePod. And I found that connecting Spotify to the HomePod was a lot more challenging than connecting Apple Music to the HomePod, so I decided to go with Apple Music. So I'm still, for some reason, trying to build out all of my playlists. I customized this pair of shoes. I decided that I wanted something that almost resembled Buzz Lightyear, because Buzz Lightyear is pretty much the best character of all time. If you decide otherwise, then you are wrong. You're entitled to your opinion, but you're wrong. But anyway, what else did I do? Oh, I got this tattoo. It was designed by a dear friend of mine, and it kind of resembles and talks about my battle with depression and truly how the Lord continues to save me to this very day. So this video, I really wanted to be kind of a looking ahead. This time of year is always a wonderful time for reflection. I don't necessarily think that you need to live and breathe by New Year's resolutions, but it at least is a good time to start over. I was perusing Barnes & Noble just yesterday, and I saw in the religion section, which is the worst place for this book, which basically said, don't try and grow, but embrace who you are. Which I think is absolutely silly, because we are meant to continue to grow. We didn't come out of the womb being the best version of ourselves. We grow and we learn, and that way we are meant to continue to get better and become better people, better followers of the Lord, better whatever, fill in the blank, mothers, fathers, daughters, brothers, fill in the blank. Yes, we are to respect ourselves, and there is a point where you have to get to embracing who you are so you can grow. But that's the thing, you have to grow. You can't be stagnant. Honestly, there is no such thing as stagnation when it comes to personal growth. It's either growth or atrophy. You're growing or you're decaying, either into a better person or into a more selfish, entitled version of yourself. And when you continue to look inward and becoming the best you, you're actually becoming a lesser version of you. The more that you look externally, the more that you look for an image and an identity outside of yourself, i.e. the Lord, that is when you grow to being the best version of yourself. I guess that's all my thinking into this year is I guess I'm willing to accept New Year's resolutions a little more than I have in the past, because I'm willing to embrace that change. There's a quote by Matthew McConaughey that says that his hero is himself in 5 years, which I am currently reading his book, Green Lights, which is an incredible book, by the way. I'm only, how many pages in? I'm only 100 pages in, but it is fantastic. It's kind of like a memoir, it's kind of not, but I've really been enjoying it, and it's made me think a lot. Anyway, that is another side note. So there's this quote by McConaughey that says that his hero is himself in 5 years, mainly because he has this vision of who he wants to be in 5 years. And that vision and that dream is always 5 years out. He's always looking to be a better version of himself, looking 5 years in the future better. And there are, a few things that are very important to me. Certainly my spiritual life by nature, because I have celiac disease. Food is a very big part of it. Is a very big part of my life. Knowledge and continuing to learn is big, as well as getting healthy. And then how does this channel play into that? What is the purpose of this channel? And how do I continue posting? Either I have to say goodbye or I have to start posting again. It's at that point. I can't deny that. It can't sit on the back burner. So either I become intentional about posting, or I close up shop, I say thank you for the memories and be on my way, or I say hello. So as I was thinking through resolutions, right? Because I think one of the problems a lot of people have with resolutions is truly just staying to the resolution. The number one day that people give up on their resolutions is January 2nd. They give up after one day. I don't want to be that. So how do I stay motivated? Well, I think that those two things go hand in hand. I think this channel is going to be me continuing to do the things that my resolutions are. Let me walk you through what my resolutions are. Now, I've already broken them down into those different categories, right? So I have knowledge, and inside of knowledge, I want to read a book a month. This past year, I said that I wanted to read a book a week. I got burnt out and I got frustrated because I didn't finish one week, and then I was like, well, I've missed my mark, so I might as well just stop. This year I'm being a little more cautious, so one book a month. If I happen to read 14 books this upcoming year, perfect. If I don't, then great. I'll still hit that 12. 12 books a year would not be that hard to do. And it would be more than I'm doing now. It would be improving. The second thing is to watch a new movie every month. So this is a new movie, something, not necessarily one that is brand new coming out, going to the theaters to see it, but more a new movie to me, one that I haven't seen before. And then also, this is the one that I need to be more intentional on, is reading my Bible every day. So all of those things, I think that I can bring you along inside of that. And, talking through what I've been learning as I've been reading, whether that be a fictional novel or, something a little more autobiographical. I tend to lean towards the novels more than I lean towards this. I'm reading this because a friend gave it to me. I didn't seek it out, but I'm so thankful that he did, because I would have passed it up. So there's that, as well as doing almost like reviews of movies, talking through the books, talking through the movies, what I thought about it, and hoping to do these with friends as well. If there's somebody who's interested in reading a book or watching a movie with me, then we could sit down and talk about it. I think that would be really fun. So then the second category would be food. I have try a new recipe or a new dish every week. So I'm going to be expanding and broadening the horizons as to what I feel comfortable eating. Very quickly, I get almost closed into what I know. And I don't want to do that. I want to be learning from different cultures and expanding my skills as well of trying new things, and then also being able to be creative in that. And then second, I would like to try a new restaurant every month. Now this can get really challenging as I am stationary. I am, living here in Indianapolis, and having celiac disease is really difficult to find new restaurants because I'm so limited in what I can eat. That's going to be challenging, but I don't think that it's going to be impossible. There are still a lot that I can probably find. It just will take a little bit of exploring. And then another one is my health. I want to get as well as to stay in shape. I started running, of all things. Of all things, I started running back in October, and it was painful. It was absolutely atrocious. I was not having fast runs at all. My endurance was horrible. But for some reason, I stuck with it, and now I'm actually starting to enjoy it. I'm training for a half marathon. So I want to do 3 half marathons next year. That's one every 4 months. I have one scheduled already for March. So in the second third, as well as the final third of the year, I need to find a half marathon. Maybe next year I find that a half marathon, I can do more than that. And then I may start training for a marathon, which, if you would have told me 1 year ago that I would be training for a half marathon, I would have said you were nuts. Maybe a 10K I would be able to do. That's 6 miles. Now I can do a 10K any day of the week if I would like to, which is wild. And then the final thing, my final resolution, is something that I've been wanting to do since 2018. And I have things in place, and I'm looking to actually do it, is move to England. That's a big statement. And there's so much wrapped up in that. So much excitement and joy and fear all combined, because that's going to be leaving almost everything that I know behind for a short period of time. I will be there for 6 months. That's my plan, because I can't stay any time longer due to visa situations. After those 6 months, I will come back home. And when I'm there, I want to immerse myself in the culture. I want to immerse myself in what England has to offer, and to grow and to learn from that, and to truly see the world bigger. And almost use England as a launching pad to the rest of Europe, and maybe to other parts of the world as well. Because I would love to see and explore and to learn and to grow in my knowledge about these different places. Not just to store it here, to let that expanded worldview take hold and then become a better and more whole person because of it, I do have 12 to 18 friends or so in England already, and they are some of my favorite people in the world. Some of them have already agreed to almost being guides for me to the history and the culture of England. And alongside with that, have been willing to be a guide for you as well. So as I learn the culture of England, I'm going to be able to take you along with me, and I'm going to show what it's like living in a different country. Not just being there for a vacation, but to live there. Not a part of a school system or anything of that nature. Being there and living, doing life as a commoner there. And I am so excited. You see, I've been wanting to go and to move to England since I went there first in 2018. And now this upcoming year, I get that opportunity. I'm looking at flights. I have a date picked out as to when I will be traveling over there. And as I prepare for that, I also will be bringing you along, which includes, what I'm getting rid of, what I'm packing, how I'm thinking through this, how I am saving for that trip and that time, what I'm going to be doing in the meantime. That's my plan. That is this upcoming year for me. I hope that you're excited because I'm really excited. And if you would be willing to come along with me, I would be honored to be your guide. Anyway, that's it for now. I will be seeing you shortly. Oh, this is going to be fun. Thank you so much. My name is Andrew Jacob Winely. Stay strong and soldier on.